So I want to share with you a simple mind trick to be able to break any habits instantly using a very simple thing with the brain. And it might sound a little bit complex right now. In the brain, there's something called the hippocampus and the amygdala. I'm going to show you how to do this very simple emotional loop, which will change everything for you. It doesn't matter if it's smoking, it doesn't matter if it's drinking, it doesn't matter what the habit is that you have, you can break it instantly. But before we get into it, show reel, hit it. What's up guys, namaste to everybody, this is Akarshana here, and in this video I want to break down for you a very simple mind trick that can help you break any habit. It could even be a eating disorder, or I don't know, maybe you are trying to lose weight, but whenever you see cake you really want to eat that cake, right? So it could be a lot of different things, but it works with anything. First of all, what we need to understand is our reasons for taking action towards something. Right? So if we think about this, every habit that we have, the bad habits that we want to break right now, we need to take an action towards it. We need to understand that action always stems from emotion. Think about this for a second. If you don't have a why or an emotional drive behind something, you're not going to do the thing. It's only when you feel really emotional behind something, then you finally take the action. And if you have a pleasure relation to something, you will want to do that thing. If you have a pain relation to some things, then you will always try to avoid those things, right? This can actually work the other side. You can actually stop procrastinating also, right? And so how it works is very simple. When you have a pain relation to something, think about it. All the things that you don't like to do, for example, maybe you don't like early mornings, you have a pain relation to it, right? You don't like going to gym, or the thought of going to gym is too much work, right? Because you have pain relation to it. The people who go to the gym every single day is because they have a strong pleasure relation. Their pleasure relation is stronger than the pain relation. So why I talked about at the beginning, I said our brain is very simple because at the stem of our brain, there's a part called the hippocampus, which is in charge of long and short-term memory. There's a place called the amygdala, which is in charge of the emotions. And what happens is the emotions lock into that subconscious. And how we want to create it is that everything just happens subconsciously. So I'll give you an example. In my family, a lot of people are prone to eating too much, right? So whenever, since growing up, we've always we have to finish all the food on the table. And when we don't finish all the food on the table, what happens is our parents is when we do finish it, they're like, good boy, right? When we don't finish it, they get angry and upset. So we already know that from 0 to 7 is our prime time because we're in theta brainwave for being programmed. And so when I was thinking, why is it that I'm 20-something years old, I'm 30 years old, and still, whenever I see food on the table, although I'm full, I still have this need to finish it. If I don't finish it, I feel bad. And when I had to loop back into time, I found out that actually it's because whenever I was younger, it's very simple. Whenever we didn't finish the food, and I don't know if you've heard this before, whenever we didn't finish the food, parents would say, why are you not finishing food? Think of the kids in Africa. And then we'll be like, yeah, actually, that's really bad. We should finish the food, right? But the funny thing is, it took me like 20 plus years to realize that even if we finish the food, the kids are still starving in Africa. It's not actually going to feed them, right? So when we start to understand that actually the reason why we had this need is because when we didn't finish it, we had a pain relation. Not only that, they reinforced it by when we finish the food, they say, good boy. Now, what does that tell us in the subconscious level? It tells us that it's good. And we don't know that, but we carry it throughout our whole entire lives. If you think of it like this, right? Those of you who have any bad habits like smoking or drinking or whatever it is, there's a reason why you would have that habit. And it would be pain and pleasure relation, right? Anybody who smokes, probably you've seen somebody smoking and they thought, oh, wow, it looks really cool and I want to be part of that cool tribe, right? It was a pleasure relation got you there. And since you linked it with the pleasure relation, then you carry it forward. And how you change habits is very simple, because all you need to do in NLP, some of you who are not familiar with it, neuro-linguistic programming. So what we do is very simple. We do what we call a cognitive reframe. So we shift the pain to the pleasure and the pleasure to the pain. So a very simple thing is, for example, one thing that happened with me, how I started not feeling the need to finish all the food on the table anymore, is very simple. What I would do is, with the action, I need to link it to an action now. So let's say there's food on the table and I feel full. First of all, I need to acknowledge that I'm already full. After I do that, what I do is I close my eyes and I visualize a pleasure relation while doing the action of pushing the plate away with food on it. So what I used to do was very simple. I used to see myself with six-pack abs and looking great and thinking, oh my God, it would be amazing if I looked that way. So I'd visualize that. And I'll say, okay, I look that way. Every time I push the plate away, then it's creating a link inside my brain, inside the subconscious. So it's giving me a feel-good factor every time I push the plate away. Now, what I did was I created a pleasure relation to pushing the plate away and not finishing food. And the funny thing is, the first 1 time, 2 times, 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, it's difficult, it's challenging, because you've got a stubborn relation that's been going for many years. But what happens is, after the 6th time, 7th time, naturally, you'll eat some food. When you feel full, you'll push it away and you'll happily just walk away. Our brains are programmed very, very quickly by repetition. So what I'm saying is, whatever that thing is, whether it's smoking, okay, if it's smoking right now and you want to quit smoking, very simple. Every time you bring a cigarette, you can still smoke for some time. I'm saying maybe a few weeks or a month or something. But every time you bring that cigarette in, okay, now visualize, close your eyes and visualize. While you're doing the action, visualize, okay, maybe the worst thing, the most painful thing. Visualize lungs and the way it looks, and your lungs and death and like real serious stuff. So if you see that, then you'll be like, no, actually, I don't want to do this anymore, right? So you do that once, you do that twice, and you'll feel, okay, I still have this addiction. But 3 times, 4 times, 5 times, let me tell you something. By the 7th, 8th, 9th, 10th time, you won't even want to pick up that cigarette anymore. So it doesn't matter what bad habits, you either create a bad relation, you either create a pain relation to it, or you create a pleasure relation to it, depending if you want to take a new action on or you want to quit a consistent action, a bad habit that you have. So give it a try. Once you do give it a try, come back, let us know how it goes for you. Or if you have any other techniques and strategies that you've used before, please do share it below, because it'll help everybody else out there too. If you enjoyed this video, please do, or you got anything out of it whatsoever, hit that thumbs up, hit the like button. Also, comment below, let us know where you guys have tuned in from. That's always nice to know. And finally, if you're new to this channel and you haven't already, remember to hit that subscribe button and the notifications button next to it. That's a little bell sign, by the way, because this year I'm dedicated to making daily videos, so you accountable to make it your best year yet. But for now, guys, I'm signing out. Namaste. Ciao.